Hello mamas, and welcome to this Energizing Yoga Flow. Today we'll be working our whole bodies. So we'll be working the muscles, and also we will energize, open up and stretch our bodies. So get ready with some blocks, strap, cushion, any other props that you might need, and let's start. We start today in seated position, really long and straight spine, relaxing your shoulders, closing your eyes, and we can bring one hand to the belly, one hand to your heart, and start with a moment to yourself, connecting to your body, to your breath, to your baby, starting with gratitude for this day, for this body, for your baby. And checking in, how are you feeling this morning? With compassion. So some days we might feel really energized and amazing. Other days maybe a little bit low energy, tired, having some stiffness and aches here and there. So all of these are normal parts of pregnancy. And let's, for today, look at our body with compassion, with love, and move in such a way so we feel good. Let's start with a couple of deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. A few more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Let's do two more cleansing, energizing breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And we'll start with some gentle movement. We can start with taking a couple of big circles with your upper body and your spine. Just waking your body bit by bit. Let's do opposite way. Continuing with seated cat and cow, bring your chest forward, tilt your pelvis back, shoulders go back, and exhale to round your spine, chin to your chest, and then really tuck your pelvis forward. So we get lots of movement in the spine here. Inhale, exhale, a couple of more, deep breath in, exhale out, two more, inhale, exhale, one more. Let's reach arms up towards the sky. Lengthen the spine, interlace your fingers, except thumb and index. Lean gently towards the right side so we get a nice stretch throughout the left side. Come back to center, other side. Release your hands, right hand down, left arm up. From here, we'll do big circles through the center. Bring your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Let's do two more on each side, all the way to the right and to the left. Waking up your spine, opening up your chest, getting a nice length inside of your body. One more to the left. Amazing. Come back up to center. We can release the legs, bring your hands behind you. Feet are wider than the mat. Sway your knees from side to side a few times. Just warming up the hips, waking them up. And we'll get into tabletop position from here. Come to your hands and your knees. As always, you can start with some intuitive movement, checking in with yourself. You want to go for a couple of circles. Maybe do a few more cat and cow here. I always like to take a moment here, pause, see how my back is feeling, how my hips are feeling, and then if I find any tightness or soreness, these movements and circles usually really help a lot. From here, we'll get into child pose. Bring your knees wide, your feet together, and hips down to your heels. Come down to your forearms. This is option 1. You can stay here if this is already enough. And then again, we can add a little bit of movement with the hips, swaying from one side to the other, just getting this lovely release for your hips. If you want to go deeper, you can extend your arms to the front, maybe even bring your forehead down. Feel free to grab a cushion here and then make yourself really nice and comfortable, taking a few breaths in your child pose. So this can give you nice opening for the hips, lengthening your spine, especially releasing your lower back. And in general, it's quite a relaxing pose. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale out. 2 more. Deep breath in. Exhale. 1 more. And then slowly start to come back up. So from here, we are going to reach left arm up towards the sky. Open your chest. Inhale your left shoulder. Exhale, thread the needle. Left arm to the right side, but we won't be holding down. We'll keep moving. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, reach up and open. Exhale, down. 1 more. Exhale. Last time, inhale. From here, we'll come into side lunge, sending that right shin behind your right knee. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Reach your left arm overhead, getting a nice stretch in the left side. And let's add a little bit of core strength, working on the obliques. Bend your knee and elbow, extend up to 10. Going for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amazing. If you want to add a little bit of side plank and hold, working on your core, we can bring the right hand slightly more forward and then have this straight line from your right shoulder to your right knee. So we're not dipping the hips down, or hips are not all the way up, but in the straight line. We'll take 5 breaths here. Going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come back down, tabletop position. Amazing. We'll go over to the other side. So let's start with the right arm up. Inhale, reach and open. Exhale, send that right arm to the left side, thread the needle. We'll do 2 more without holding. Inhale, exhale. Really working on getting that nice and open twist, lengthening the spine, opening your thoracic spine as well. Reach your right arm up and then come into the side lunge, side plank. So from here, we'll lift the right leg up. Let's do knee to elbow 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. For more core strength, side plank, left hand more forward, straight line from your left shoulder to your left knee. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Let's come back down to tabletop position. Okay, so from here, we'll extend right leg to the back, left arm to the front. Find the balance. Lots of length. Extending your arm all the way forward, your foot all the way back, like someone is pulling your arm forward and your foot back. And then we'll bring knee and elbow down, extend, knee and elbow to the side, extend. That was 2. Let's do 8 more. Amazing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Come back down. From here, we will step the right foot forward into the lunge. You can grab the blocks if you need some extra space. Bring your hips all the way to the front. Open up your chest. Inhale. Exhale, straighten right leg. Half split, flex that right foot for more stretch at the back of the leg. 2 more. And fold into half split. 1 more. Come forward into the lunge. We will twist from here. Reach your right arm up. Twist to the right, so at the same time your right foot is going out. You're creating lots of space for your front body here. Your chest is open. And come back forward. Going back to tabletop position. Let's do the other side. Extend your left leg behind you. Right arm in front. Once again, find your balance. Lots of length, lots of strength here. And then we bring knee and elbow down. Extend. Knee and elbow to the side. Extend. 8 more. Perfect. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right hand down. Step your left foot to the front of the mat into the lunge. Hips come forward. If it feels good, a little bit of movement here. Swing the hips from side to side. And then we come into the low lunge. Straighten that left leg. Flex the foot fold. Bend the knee into the lunge. Open the chest. Exhale. Half split. 1 more. Come back forward into the lunge. Reach your left arm up, twist to the side. So again, you can notice my left knee going out to the side. So I'm having lots of space for my belly. My chest is open. And come back forward. Back to tabletop position. From here, we'll come into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, and take a few deep breaths, pushing the floor away through your hands, sending the hips all the way to the back. Maybe adding movement in the hips. You know how I love to add movement in all of these poses. So you can bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg. Once again, check in with your body. How are you feeling? Where can you open up a little bit more and stretch? Perfect. Walk your hands to the back of the mat, coming into forward fold at the back. So you can bring your feet wide so you have lots of space for the belly. And if it feels good, you can fall down and relax. Maybe even grab your elbows. If the hamstrings are feeling tight, you can always slightly bend the knees. Find a position here that works for you and take a couple of breaths. From here, we'll go into yogic squat. Bring your toes out, heels in, hips all the way down, hands to your heart. Use your elbows to open up your knees, your hips. Your chest is open. Take a few breaths here. You're always welcome to sit on a block if you need that. We'll take 2 more breaths. Bring your hands down, lift your hips, walk your hands to the front of the mat, and come into downward facing dog. We'll continue with sun salutations and we'll modify them for pregnancy. Bend your knees, take a big step to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. You can also keep a block here if you need some extra space, if your hands are not touching the floor. Bend the knees. Reach your arms all the way up. Inhale, exhale, hands to your heart. Amazing. We'll do 3. So let's start. Inhale, reach up, lengthening the spine. Option for a gentle back bend at the top. Exhale, fold. So again, you can gently bend the knees. Bring your hands down either to the floor or to the block, whatever you're reaching here. Halfway lengthen, straight spine, gaze in front of you. Also, we keep our feet even wider than the hip distance, so you have space for that little baby inside of you. And bend your knees, plant your hands to the floor, step to the back into plank pose, bring your knees down. For either tabletop, I will show you both options. Option 1, tabletop. From here we'll do little push-up, which will be instead of chaturanga. Option 2, we come into supported plank pose and bend the elbows, lower down for chaturanga. Or if full chaturanga is in your practice, from full plank, you're welcome to do that. Coming into your variation of the back bend. So obviously we're not going too deep. We don't want to overstretch the belly. We can go into the cow pose or modified cobra pose where you bring your hips forward, but you're not going all the way down. And from here, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. So you tried these options for sun salutations. From now on, you can choose the one that you want to do, and we'll do 2 more sun salutations. Bend your knees, gaze to the front. Take a big step forward, halfway lengthen, fall down, slightly bend the knees, reach your arms, inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Perfect, let's continue. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold down, halfway lengthen, bend the knees, plant the hands, step to the back, plank pose. I'll bring my knees down from here, lower down for chaturanga, little lift and back bend into cobra pose, and tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. 2 more. 1 more. Come to your toes, gaze to the front, big step forward, halfway lengthen, fold, inhale to reach all the way up, exhale, hands to heart. Lovely, we'll do 1 more. Inhale, reach up and lengthen, exhale, fold, halfway, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank pose, knees down, supported plank, chaturanga, little back bend of your choice, and downward facing dog. Last 3 breaths here. So definitely you should feel more warm until now, more energized. We already worked our whole body and moved. 1 more breath, inhale and exhale. Come to your toes, bend your knees, take a big step forward, inhale, exhale down, inhale to reach all the way up, and exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, if you need a moment, get some water or anything, feel free. From here, we are going to continue with our standing sequence. So let's start with a balancing pose. Right foot down, lift your left leg up. So tree pose, left foot either to your calf, maybe even higher up to your inner thigh, hands to your heart. You want your spine straight and long, maybe even reach your arms up, lengthen. Option to bring that left arm down behind your back, make a bind with your hands. If the bind is not happening, we can just glue our hands to the back and keep opening chest and shoulders. That's what we're focusing on. 1 more breath. And release. Going for eagle pose, left leg over your right. So until we get into full eagle position, if needed, you can hover that left foot off the floor, bring your right arm on top of your left, and then maybe lift the left leg as well. Lift your elbows, bring the hips lower down, engaging your pelvic floor, squeezing your inner thighs together. 1 more breath. Release everything. Reach your left knee to your chest. From here, we're going to step back. I'll just turn to the front of the mat. Option to go back through Warrior 3 if you want to add 1 more balancing pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Extend that left leg to the back. Maybe find a little balancing time here. Your chest and that left leg parallel to the floor. And slowly step to the back into Warrior 1. So we have right toes pointing forward, right knee is in line, bringing your hips parallel to the front and lower down. Reach your arms, inhale, cactus arms, hips lower down, and straighten everything. Bring your arms, bare hips, modified pyramid pose. So both legs are straight, your back is straight, arms by the hips. Let's do 2 more. Bend the knee, reach the arms, open your chest, cactus arms. Exhale, lengthen, and bring your arms by your hips, modified pyramid pose. 1 more. Inhale, bend the knees, cactus arms. Exhale, reach up and bring your arms by your hips. Last time, we'll come to warrior one with cactus arms. Bring your hands behind the back, interlace your fingers, open up your chest, inhale. Option to stay here or go for humble warrior, where we bring our chest lower down and reach your arms up and away from your lower back. Slowly reach up and turn over to the side. Going into triangle pose. So your right foot is in the same position, both legs are straight. Extend your arms, lengthen forward with your upper body. Bring your right hand wherever it's reaching. Maybe that's your thigh, maybe you go even lower down, but you want to use your core strength here, your obliques, rather than just dumping into the pose, which then is not really comfortable, right? So keeping the length and the engagement of your core, and then extend. Right hand down, left arm up. Amazing. Come to center. Bring your right toes in, hands to your hips. Fold all the way down. Come into wide-legged forward fold. Extend your arms to the front of the mats and your hips to the back. A few deep breaths here. Let's bring the left hand down, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Bring it behind your back, open your shoulder, your chest. Getting a nice open twist here. Come down other side. Reach your left arm up. Twist and open. And back down. So we'll bring the toes out, bend the knees. Come up to standing. Going for a couple of goddess squats here. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart, bring your hips down. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale, going for 3. Inhale, exhale down. Last 2. Amazing. 1 more. Perfect. Let's from here turn to the front of the mat, warrior 2. Reach your left arm up into high lunge. We'll be stepping forward. Option 1, just a big step to the front. Option 2, again we can go through warrior 3, get some balancing time again. This time arms by your hips. Airplane warrior 3, lift your left leg up, keeping your chest open, gazing in front of you, not straight down, so you keep your balance. And slowly come up to standing. Amazing. As always, you can take a little break if you need it, and we'll go for the other side. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Okay, so left foot down, let's get into the tree pose. Bring your right foot either to your calf or inner thigh. Take a moment, find your balance, hands to your heart, or take one of the other 2 options. Reaching your arms up, option to bring that right arm down and behind your back. Make a bind with your hands, or just keep your hands on your back. Opening your chest, that left shoulder. Release. Let's go for eagle pose. Right leg over your left, left arm on top of your right. Bring your hips lower, lift your elbows. Take a couple of more breaths here. squeezing your inner thighs, your pelvic floor. One more breath. Release everything. And then send that right leg to the back. So let me again turn to the side. Bring your right knee to your chest. Send it back for warrior 3. And then slowly step to the back of the mat into warrior 1. So we start with cactus arms, left knee is bent, chest is open. Reach the arms up and then straighten the legs, fall down. Modified pyramid pose. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pyramid pose. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Last time. We'll come up into warrior 1 with cactus arms. Bring your arms behind the back, interlace fingers, open your chest. Option to stay here or fold forward into humble warrior, reaching your arms away from your lower back. Take a breath and slowly lift back up. Reach your arms, turn over to the side. We'll go into the triangle pose. So again, left leg stays in the same position. Toes are pointing forward. Your hips are actually open to the side of the mat, to the long side. Extend your arms. Lengthen forward, already engaging your core. And bring your left hand down to your thigh, to your shin, wherever you're reaching. Getting a nice stretch here in the right side. I can also remove that left hand. I'm still staying here because I'm using my core strength rather than dumping all the weight in my arm, which then is not comfortable for my knee. Take a breath and come back to center. From here we'll fall down again, one-legged forward fold. This time you can, if it feels good, add a little bit of more movement, swaying your hips, circles. Option to bring your arms behind the back, interlace fingers, fall down, which will give you one more stretch at the back of the legs, opening your chest and shoulders, and slowly release. Let's bring toes out, bend the knees, come all the way up to standing. 5 more goddess squats. Reach your arms, inhale, exhale. Let's do 4 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Going for 3. Lovely. 2. 1 more. Amazing. Bring your hands to your heart. Toe heel your feet towards each other. So we will turn to the front of the mat. See, we completely forgot to go forward back through warrior 3. Let's do that. So from our triangle we come into warrior 2. Reach your right arm up. Bring your hands to your heart. Extend your right leg back. Take a breath here and then slowly come forward. Perfect. Reach your arms, inhale. 1 more vinyasa. Exhale to fold. Halfway lengthen. Bend the knees, plant your hands. Step to the back. We can step back into downward dog straight away, or you can take 1 more vinyasa as we did at the beginning. Chaturanga. Little back bend of your choice and downward facing dog. So from here we'll go into pigeon pose. If you have it in your practice to bring the leg all the way forward from downward dog, you can go for it. Otherwise you can go from tabletop. So I will show both. Tabletop position, Knees down. We bring the right shin forward, extend the left leg back, and come into pigeon pose. Option 2, from downward facing dog, you reach your right leg up, bring your right shin to the front, shoulders forward, and then extend the left leg back. So obviously, from downward dog, we need more core strength, upper body strength, and flexibility to be able to step the foot or the shin forward. So we'll take a moment, find our position where the hips are parallel to the front, same level. Come down on your forearms. If your bump is getting quite big, like mine, maybe you don't have enough space here, so you want to stay higher up on the blocks. And you still get this lovely stretch and opening for the right hip, for your lower back. Let's take a couple of nice and deep breaths here. And every inhale, lots of oxygen in, expanding. Exhale, releasing, relaxing. So we start to cool down, slow down the heart rate, the breathing rate. And at the same time, of course, we get this lovely stretch. Let's slowly start to come back up. We'll do the other side. So whichever way you came into pigeon pose on the first side, you can do the same for the second side. If you're coming in from tabletop, go for it. If you're coming in from downward dog, let's step back into downward dog. Reach your left leg up. Bring your left shin to the front of the mat. Send your right leg back and find pigeon pose on this side. Again, if you need the blocks, they're there. We can also place a block or a cushion under that left hip if you notice that your hips are not in the same level. And again, we'll take around 10 more breaths on this side, relaxing, breathing. Listening to your body, noticing how it feels in your hips, in your back. And then we'll slowly start to come out. So this time we can just lean on the left hip and bring your right leg to the front of the mat. Let's come into butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together. Fold all the way forward. You can use your elbows to open up the legs even more if that feels good. You can extend the arms to the front. And take a few more breaths here. Once again, just allowing yourself to relax. Focus on your breathing, maybe on the movements of your baby if you feel your baby already. And let's come back up. Wide-legged forward fold, bringing your legs straight and wide open, straight spine. We can add a little bit of hips mobility movement here, coming forward and back. might be a really small movement for you, but it's really helpful to bring more mobility in the hips, because if we're spending most time, like most of women, right, nowadays, seated, working, driving, then most probably your hips and your lower back will be quite tight. Also, one more nice thing to do here, lift one sit bone off the floor, lean to the other side, switch. So again, for hip mobility. And when you start these movements at the beginning, they can be very little. Maybe you're like, am I doing it right? But with time and with more practice, you will notice more mobility and flexibility comes in. And then we want to find straight spine, maybe even tilting the hips slightly back, fold forward, staying on your hands, maybe your forearms, finding a comfortable position where we'll take next 10 breaths. Also, if you have a cushion nearby, you can use it here. Maybe you put the blocks underneath for more space. So obviously I need to bring it a little bit more forward so I have space for my bump. And then relax down. Let's take 10 breaths here. And let's slowly start to come back up. From here, we'll go down to our final resting pose. So if you have a big pillow and blocks nearby, let's set up the pose to lay on our backs. So we'll put one block medium height horizontally, and then the other one highest height behind it. So we make this little bridge. Make sure that your blocks are stable before you go down, because if you don't put them in a correct way, they may fall down. And then slowly lower down, bringing your hips all the way to the edge of the pillow. Lay down, and for the legs, you can do butterfly pose if you want a little bit more opening for your hips. You can, if you feel any kind of soreness in your lower back, the best would be here to keep your knees up or extend the legs forward. So find a position that feels good for you. I'll take the butterfly pose and we'll relax here for the next few minutes. Finishing again with positive energy, love, peace, gratitude. Taking this energy into the rest of our day, sharing it with the people we care about. And I'm not saying that we should always be just positive, but it's all about perception, right? When you're focusing on the good stuff in your life, you will find more and more to be grateful for, appreciate things that you have in your life more. And even though there are some hardships, everyone has them, but we can be more content with life if we focus on what we already have rather than stressing about things we can't get or about bad stuff going on in our lives, right? And then we'll slowly start to come up. So you can bring your, if you don't have your legs up, your knees up already, you can do that. Maybe with your hands to your belly, saying hi to your baby or your babies in my case. And we'll slowly start to come up. Thank you for joining today, and see you tomorrow.